Oh,
wait.
Okay, yeah, we're good.
Just tell me when, Nick. Just tell me
we're
when.
good.
I'm taking command of this, Nick. Just tell me when.
It's, I don't know if people are on yet.
Are we live? Is this thing on?
1 watching, 6 watching. Yeah.
That's as many as we're gonna get.
We've got 12.
All right.
People finally wised up.
Yeah, buddy.
17. Okay, now they're piling in.
And they can obviously hear us because they are confirming.
If anybody in the chat could let us know, what is the whole balance? Is any of us too loud? Is the game music too loud?
Is Bob an idiot? All these questions need answering, so please, chat. We're asking you to chime in.
Yeah, please let us know. Uh-oh, what was this? Bob's volume's a little low.
Okay, so Bob, you need to adjust your volume.
Alright.
You're barely audible, according to Sharudo Paulson.
Okay.
NeoZed says Bob is low, and I always thought Bob is high.
I guess it depends on the day.
Yeah.
Well, you know the answer to that question if you were helping Bob get set up about 40 minutes ago.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that.
You guys get jokes.
So
what's going on?
So are we ready?
Yeah, we're on. We're live. We're good.
I mean, is he good?
I'm ready. I just want to make sure that everybody in the chat can hear us and that it's all at the correct levels.
So right now, audio balance chat. Are we doing better? Are we sounding pretty good, or do we need to make some more adjustments? By the way, to the chat, I want to personally profusely apologize for this terrible injustice.
So Bob, people are asking already, how are you streaming this?
I don't know. Is it an emulator? Is it something? Is it a device? Is it a Mr. Core?
I mean, it's pretty cool that Analog sent you such an early review copy of Mega SG.
Maybe this is what Eon's announcing. Maybe they made a Game Boy Advance emulator.
That would be cool.
All right.
Is that tomorrow?
It says,
Yeah, is that tomorrow? Are you going to be at the press release, Bob? In
Yeah.
the front row, in a dress?
pretty princess dress.
You-
Mobius says
you
I'm
got
still a
ticket-
little
you got
quiet,
tickets
but
to
is it enough to be really annoying? Because
No, a lot of people are saying that you're kind of quiet, Bob.
all right, let me check the other settings then.
Well, just take your slider and move it up like a click. Ah, I farted.
All right, how's that? Can you guys hear me now?
Yeah, probably. Whatever, just play the game. Just play the effing game.
Just
Raise
play the
Bob up
epic
20 to
game.
30%.
get this over with. I hate this stupid game.
Yeah, but chat. Just full disclosure, we did
All
meet
right.
an hour before this started, but Bob
it started working,
you know-
and then it stopped.
Okay, you're perfect now, Bob. You're perfect.
All right.
All right, let's roll. How come?
Do I need to fix my camera? Hold on,
Yeah.
Bob.
Yeah.
All right. Give me a second here.
I want to see
just a
this
second.
before I go over and play the game. I want to see whatever it is that Voltar has in store.
I don't have anything in store. Hold on just a second. I really don't. That's the God's honest truth here. Okay, I'm gonna fix my camera.
So what have you been up to this week, Renee?
Whoa. We adopted a kid.
Congratulations, man. It's a pretty awesome
Pretty
announcement.
cool. That's very awesome.
How come he's not playing?
I'm waiting for Zach.
Is he next on the?
There's nothing to wait. I'm not doing anything, man.
Why is your mic off, or why is your camera off? I don't trust you at all.
No, I'm fixing the damn thing, Bob. For God, Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints.
I meant, why is the kid not? Is he like next on the cycle after Bob? Is he gonna be streaming for us next time?
All right, let's do it. Ready to go. Here we are. Ah. All right, Bob. Let's do it.
All right. Now everything's right side up. All right, Bob, you're boring the audience. Let's play the game, man.
Yeah, seriously, dude.
Let's
Bob,
go.
you're kind of blowing it, Bob. I gotta be honest.
Is Bob?
Oh, gee.
I think Bob just left.
Why do we do this charity for Bob? Why do we let him hang out with us and pretend
Ah.
He's back.
All right. Is my you don't have to tell me if I need to raise or move the mic at all or anything.
Yeah, you're perfect. Just
We
play
just
the
need you to
game.
play the fucking game. Quote Adam Korlick.
I'm completely. My head is completely cut off, you dick.
Yeah, no one wants to see you, Bob. It's
Fuck
fine.
off.
Let's see. Okay, so what are we playing?
Metroid Fusion.
to... Ugh. Terrible.
I can see you, Zach, trying to play it along with me. You douchebag.
Let's see.
So why did you
that's-
choose
that's
this
what's
game,
happening.
Bob?
Oh shit! Hold on.
Bob, what the hell's going on?
My wires.
Bob,
are
I've seen
crossed.
you play this like area like 6 times already.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it's weird. You play it exactly the same every time, too.
Strange. It's almost like pre-recorded.
What is with this conspiratorial nonsense?
What are you playing? Zach?
What?
What are you playing? I have my laptop open.
I'm playing Mega Man 9. I'm streaming it as you're streaming.
You are such a piece of shit.
I've got the donate. You can't see it, but if you maximize, I've got the donations coming in already in the top and everything.
Are you serious? Then why aren't you streaming?
Swear to God.
I have like 20 more hours worth of work to do before the end of the weekend. I only did this. If you're gonna do this, you switch over and stream.
I don't see how that's my goddamn problem, Bob.
It's not really streaming.
I am streaming. Obviously, people are seeing this live. I'm fighting fucking Tornado Man.
Uh-oh, I'm having controller issues. No, I got it. Alright, sorry.
So how long does it take to beat this dumb...
There's no way. There's absolutely no way I'm beating this game. That's why.
How can you not? I'm not saying this to be mean, but how in the hell can you not beat this, Bob?
Isn't this like a 4-hour game minimum?
No.
I mean, for your average person, not for the car season.
Oh, well, yeah, if you're like you're an average person, maybe, but unless you're a loser, I mean, like you.
Everyone's assuming that this is a Woozle mod.
I mean, it could be what Eon's releasing tomorrow. They could have partnered up with Hyperkin to make an emulation.
Well, that would make a lot of sense, Bob. Thanks for the update on that.
Thanks to JF, who donated $2 because of the Mega Man 9 stream.
Finally, Voltar's antics saved the day.
I waited a long time to hear that, Steve. I want you to know that I appreciate that.
Like, we can always count on you in a pinch.
BR
That's
Nexus
the only
asked
way.
if we saw the GameCube component cables coming out from Insurrection.
I did.
Well,
yeah,
I
it looks neat.
saw the announcement. The pictures that they posted were not of GameCube component cables, though.
They were of a picture of a component cable.
Yeah, I think it was their existing HDMI device, and then another picture of the BNC component breakout.
Yeah, I don't think that was a picture of the actual thing. I think it was just a picture of their device in randomness. So.
Yeah, they probably have just a prototype that they didn't want to show. Is my guess.
Hey, people are saying I still need more mic gain. Do I really need to crank it up?
I mean, the person playing the game rarely ever talks during these things anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, I ate that Duke mentioned this. I noticed that too, that the BNC picture was like a 30 by 30, like low quality JPEG for some reason. The BNC cables. I don't know what happened there. But yeah, I think that'll be cool. If that comes out, maybe actually do a dent into the market. Because I don't, for whatever reason, I don't think the HDMI solutions really did anything for lowering prices. Have you guys noticed? I mean, Renee, you've been looking out for component cables, haven't you?
Yeah, and the prices are still sky high. I'm glad that they announced this because I was just about to dish out like the 300 or so bucks to get one because
Oh Jesus!
I have the Eon solution, but it doesn't look good on my TV, so I want to be able to run it through the OSSC.
Right on. Yeah, I don't know how long it'll be that. I mean, they announced it, but they didn't really mention anything about dates. So there's, of course, the Eon announcement that I think we're all expecting
All right,
something
that should be a
related
little
to
bit
that.
better.
Bob, this is going so well.
Uh huh. Well, I did forget that there's like a 15 freaking minute opening for this. So, oops.
Yeah, because she doesn't shut up. Which she's
There's a
supposed
lot
to
of
shut up in Metroid.
There is a lot of exposition here.
It's terrible. Sorry, I hate this game.
You know
This
what?
wasn't my favorite, but I always really liked it.
Nowhere near as epic as Super Metroid.
No, but you know, whatever.
Metroid Prime is way better than this game.
Metroid Prime's an awesome game, though. It's not like a dig.
But these came out at the exact same time. I remember why I hated this game so much. And it like kind of opened my eyes up to 3D games because when these two games came out at the same time, and I was like, Metroid Prime, you can't make a 3D Metroid. It's gonna be stupid. I'm getting Metroid Fusion on my Game Boy Advance, and I get it. I play through it. And I'm like, yeah, that was all right. And then I go over to my friend's place. He has Metroid Prime, and I'm watching him play Metroid Prime, and I'm like, holy shit. This game's way better than Metroid Fusion. It actually feels like Metroid, and it's 3D.
So Bob,
Yeah.
how are you
All right, the
capturing
game's
this?
finally
Is
freaking
this
starting. How am I
is
what?
this data? How are you capturing this? Is this data path?
I'm not at liberty to disclose any of that.
Oh, okay. You can't even say that.
Maybe
Damn,
I'm just
top
capturing a screen of an emulator. And
Yeah, that's a good
I guess
point.
then I would have to be using a SNES to USB controller, but whatever. Yes, my objective is clear. Ugh.
Yeah,
Alright.
told you. This game sucks. Sorry. I'll try to tone it down.
Hey, notice
Really
notice the
good.
smooth scrolling here. There's no stutter or judder.
Do you want a medal for that, Bob? I mean,
Yeah.
No, I'm not the one that did that.
Who did that?
I don't know.
So why is this game called Metroid Fusion?
because in order to save Samus, they had to infuse her DNA with a Metroid,
Yeah,
so
you
she'd
just
become
see the
immune to the
entire
X
opening
parasites problems. You know.
Does look good. However, you're doing this.
Yeah, I mean, Tornado Man's level looks great.
sequence. Oh, such horrible douchebags.
Don't worry. You got bored within like 2 minutes and stopped playing.
The
No,
donations are keep rolling in.
Yeah, the donations. My Life in Gaming has donated $3 million. Crazy.
Badass consoles, no refund.
Yeah, Bad Consoles has donated no refund. $10 from Adam Korlick. $0 from Eon. HD Retrovision has donated $69.69. And Metal Jesus Rocks has donated 50 cents. Oh, and Joe Redifer has
Joe
donated.
Redifer has sent a Blu-ray in lieu of donation.
No, it says $1,987. So I don't know
That's
what's
right.
up with that. That's the year he was born.
I don't know. It just seems like a good year for Sega. You know what I mean?
87? No, Joe's older than that, I'm sure.
Yeah, that would make sense.
I hate it when games make you go back to a spot you were just at to check in.
Yep.
Yeah, usually happens like shitty games.
Watermelon dominated a Paprium game. Man, what a nightmare that thing is. I feel
They
real
still have-
good about retracting my donation 9 months ago.
I was holding out. I really wanted them to keep my money as long as possible and for me to receive that PCB, and I probably wasn't even going to play the game all that much. I mean, I bought what's that other game, Pure Solar. I played it for like an hour or two. It's not terrible, it's not excellent either, but
So
I mean,
you
I
only
had to
played
look-
it for an hour because your thing caught on fire and your house burnt up. And so you had to leave, right?
yeah, I bought into that pre-order because I wanted to see the PCB. I wanted to analyze it and write a blog post about it, tell people is it good, is it bad, whatever. And now I'm not even going to be able to do that. So I feel stolen of my potential to stir the shit online.
Smoke Monster said he got his refund the same day they said they wouldn't have an enhancement sound chip. When was that? That was much later than I got my refund then.
That's been a while since they said they weren't going to do that chip, I think.
When did you?
I got mine in March,
Okay.
which it was after that, I thought. But
Okay.
yeah, I mean, nobody's getting refunds anymore, so game over. Which is not that big of a deal for like people who in the last year just like pre-ordered it. Like, I mean, you kind of risked some money doing that, but going back further, like 6 years ago when they were doing this like you buy gems thing, like some people put in hundreds and thousands of dollars to this thing.
You buy what?
It was like some rewards program thing. I don't really understand it. I don't know the exact history, but there was something where you bought gems and like I don't know. It was weird. It was like their own version of Kickstarter, basically.
I'm gonna do a
Well-
thing where every time there's annoying dialogue, I'm gonna chug. I've just been doing that, but now I'm announcing it.
You want to know why there's annoying dialogue? Because shitty Metroid games have dialogue. Good Metroid games don't have dialogue.
Smoke Monster got his in April.
Like I'm not that disappointed. I mean, I bought the standard game package, which was something like $60 or $70, right? So it's not a big deal, but I know some people said they invested a lot of money,
Mm-hmm.
like hundreds and
Like a
hundreds.
ton of
dollars.
money.
Yeah.
Why so much money?
Mateus Bea said he put in like over $300.
So what did that get you?
Absolutely.
This all goes back to like what they were doing with rewards. I don't know.
I thought it was just you just ordered, like it was.
That
like
was a year
pre-order.
ago. That was a year ago. They opened the pre-order. They're like, oh, it's almost done. Pre-order now, and that's what
Oh,
we got in on. But
Okay.
years ago, they were like crowdfunding this with a reward system type thing.
Oh.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. Those people are extra pwned. I mean, yeah, it's risky to pre-order anything that's not finished development, but it's even more so when you're doing it outside of like one of these. Well, particularly Kickstarter, I would say, is at least incentivized more to like kick your ass if you try to really cheat people. I don't know how much the other crowdfunding sites do, but if you're just going directly, like, not saying that the Retro Block, Polymega's the second name. Not saying that they're going to screw people, but it's way riskier to fund something like that because they're just crowdfunding through their own website. Like, it's there's no policing body.
Yeah. No guarantee at all.
Huh. I forgot all
So-
about this.
Yeah, I
Has there-
thought it
Go
was
ahead, I'm
starting to
sorry.
get starting to get really sketchy when after that when they opened the pre-ordering on their website, they had like this nice big production advertising video that came out with it too, where they probably spent thousands of dollars on that. Somebody analyzed all the screenshots and the footage of the gameplay that was in that video, and they noticed that the color count was way too high for it to be anything that came out of a Sega Genesis. So that's when, I mean, there were starting to be red flags just, days after that pre-order came out.
Yeah.
Wasn't there like a website where this guy was just
The Paprium
Like-
fiasco. Yeah,
Yeah.
there's a Twitter account for that, and it's brilliant. You really have
Yeah, I
to.
mean, well, I think he's probably close to done, if not done, posting. Like his most recent one was like, here are step-by-step instructions for filing a class action lawsuit
Yeah.
with the FTC and whatever, government body you fall under. So,
section lawsuit, really?
I mean, I think people are fooling themselves if they think they're going to take this company to court and get a dime. I mean, still might be worth, filing a complaint with the FTC or whatever they are.
Well, the only thing that it would be worth doing is that if a person starts an LLC, files bankruptcy, they can't, they're not going to be, like, you can't force them to pay you, they could just file bankruptcy. But if a person files or starts multiple LLCs and does this more than once, then you could take criminal action against them. So this kind of prevents them from doing this to many different people. Like, there isn't going to be a Paprium 2 if you,
No,
JF
nobody's-
donated another $2 and asked, "What do you, big booty boy?" I assume he means Bob. Think of Power Slave. I think that's a.
Is it a band?
Saturn game.
Saturn.
I love the song. I think it's a great Iron Maiden tune.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I got it mixed up with the band.
Sorry, my mic's here. I'm pretty sure this is the same game. I have the PAL version, Exhumed. I think this is Power Slave in NTSC land.
Huh. Exhumed.
I
Saturn?
think. Yeah.
Yep, that's correct. It
Yeah,
is-
it's a really, really cool FPS for Saturn.
Bob, what did the different colored viruses give you?
Missiles and life.
Green gives you both, yellow gives you health, and red gives you both missiles and health. I think green gives you missiles and yellow gives you health.
Okay.
So is it missiles or missiles?
Well, I think the British pronunciation is missile. There's a missile headed towards us.
It's because you said both. Which
Well, I
is
mean, I
in
like to do
5
both.
seconds.
GC Lover 81 Forever, which I'm guessing is one of Voltar's alternate accounts, just asked,
Huh?
Bob, do you still endorse that thief badass consoles?
No.
Is that you?
Me? No, that's not fucking me. Wait, is that in chat?
Yeah, you donated $2 under the name GC Lover 81 Forever. Which I assumed was just one of your alts.
Yeah.
Oh my god, no. That's so good though. Don't blame me for that shit.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah.
Bob doesn't endorse, he's Switzerland.
Right. Unless you go above and beyond. Unless you accuse me of taking stuff for free and trying to, extort you for it or something like that, douche Alex.
Yeah,
What hap-
I haven't heard from him in a while. I don't know what happened. He was releasing those teasers and kind of disappeared.
Who are we talking about?
Michael.
Oh, Badass Consoles.
Mike.
Yeah.
All the kids. that
Let me
don't
look in chat
say-
here. Hold on.
They move
I
on.
would bet $50 that was you. I
I'll
still
bet you-
think it's you. I still think you're lying to
I
us.
bet you $1 billion it wasn't me. I wish I was smart enough to do that. That's fucking hilarious.
I mean, he did pay $2, so I think he deserves a straight answer. So what is it, Bob?
Well, repeat the question.
Oh my god, Bob, do you still endorse that
Do you still endorse badass consoles?
No, you
Question.
still endorse that thief badass consoles. That's what the question.
I mean, that's obviously worded in a way where it's setting me up for failure, but the truth is, for a while,
Is that
he
really
was the-
setting you up for failure?
Well, I mean, the truth, the indisputable truth, is that for a while he was the only person pursuing this from the perspective of mass manufacturing. And now you have choices. So I wouldn't hold my breath on anything, and the only thing that I truly feel bad about is all the people whose money is gone.
Yeah, they can't get refunds. I mean, I mean, jokes aside, that's terrible. To be perfectly honest, I get contacted by a lot of people asking me, if there's anything I know that I could, if there's anything I could do to sort of send a message. I'm like, I'm not friends with that guy. I'm sorry. There's just
I know
nothing
this is a really mean thing to say, but I got so tired of people asking me that I warned everybody. I said, please stop. This is I have nothing to do with this person, and people would not let up. So I just started banning people or blocking them in YouTube. Every video, the same person would post 2 or 3 times, to the point where I started thinking, if this person's posting that much on that many videos, is this even real? So I don't know.
Bob, can you turn up your?
I mean,
audio
if you
even more?
go to
this is about as good as I can get. Sorry.
if you look at all the comments on Twitter, and especially if you look at all the Reddit comments about people not being able to get a refund, it's pretty damning. It's unfortunate. There's nothing funny about that, but it's very dangerous.
it's no different than the Paprium situation. The product didn't exist yet. You're putting your money at risk. I feel worse for the people who sent consoles. Really, you can't get their could be their childhood console that they want back.
Yeah,
Everybody said that. I thought he didn't take anybody's consoles yet.
Yeah, that's the one thing that I really doubt that people are missing consoles. I know people had issues, but
Maybe I could be totally wrong. I thought I saw people complaining about that.
I think that was people sent him N64 consoles.
And I really don't know about that, because I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Because I know people that got theirs done from him recently, so I don't know what that shit's all about. But the one thing I will say that
Could
is
just be
different
people
from
stirring up
Paprium-
trouble.
Yeah, whatever. But the thing that is different from Paprium, which probably makes this a little worse, is that there was a working product. I have it. It works. I don't really. There was one bug that he seemed to be able to fix right away, but that was it. I had the product.
Yeah, who knows?
Who knows? I mean, it's just one of those things. I think if he spent less time on his private Discord talking badly about everyone and spent more time doing some good PR for himself and actually being decent, he may not have went down the shitter like that. But I don't have anything for him. He's two-faced as fuck. He's two-faced as fuck. You heard it from me. Badass Consoles is two-faced as fuck.
I also don't think people realize that it's really hard to make stuff.
Yep.
Making stuff is really difficult.
hard to make stuff.
Yeah, as soon as you start getting into more than just the prototype phase and start seeing what happens at scale, all of a sudden it's a different ball game, man. It's
so scary to I remember I told you guys when I was ordering the PCBs for Tanglewood, right? You're telling some factory somewhere in China make 1,000 of something, and they don't know what it is. They don't know. They're not attached to it. They don't care if it's good or not. They just want to make it and ship it back to you. I mean,
dude, I get scared every time we place an order and have something show up because not only is it a quantity of money that is risky,
How the fuck did I die?
but and even though they've made this successfully before, the problem is there's different people there now, different people working at the factory. What if they interpreted some of the documentation from the previous people wrong? I mean, there's a whole bunch of things that can just like go wrong. What if they just decided this time, like, we don't need to run the test fixture, like, we'll just do it like 1 every 10. And...
Well, I think I may have told the story about how we had power supplies for the medical grade computers, where we got a run of like 100. We said, yeah, all right, this is approved, and they said, well, yeah, it's the same capacitors. We'll just swap it out with these, and they all failed. That we had 5,000 here. We installed
Yikes.
about 500 or 600, maybe 300 hit the customer, and then I had to assemble a team of people to go to the customer. There was medical clinics. We had to go to the customer and to their location and fix all of these things. So we, that's it's a little, you start to have a different appreciation for things after that when you have to actually go to the customer and fix the thing that you screwed up.
Yeah, I put on all our drawings. I mean, this isn't a guarantee, but I still do it. I put no bomb substitutions unless the prior approval from HD Retrovision LLC. I put that on all our drawings and everything.
I do that too on all my bombs for the parts that must not be substituted. I don't write that for like some 0603 resistors and whatnot, but
I do it for
chips-
everything.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
E96 or go home.
Certain chips and connectors, I always say no substitutions. I don't want them to substitute like a gold-plated connector with some shitty tin-plated connectors.
Well, I mean, the tin plate is not shitty. It's just you have gold mating with gold, and you need to keep that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You don't want them to react.
Yeah. So I mean, if you have tin mating with tin, and that was your intention, yeah, of course you want to keep that. I actually caught that problem at my day job where they were putting down the wrong plating on. I mean, it was just a jumper for programming. During programming, you short the jumper, but
I'm doing better than Bob.
still, it was.
I just saw somebody in the chat when I glanced over to say never buy the first run of anything. I think it's what he said. I'm trying to play the game. Play the fucking game. But I disagree. I enjoy doing the first runs and stuff, and especially in the retro gaming community. And I know that there's going to be multiple revisions of stuff, and I'm totally all right with that.
Yeah, I mean, you have to have a different attitude about it.
Yeah, different people have different mentalities toward that stuff, and if you're gonna go in on something early, like, you have to be the person who is like, okay, this is a risk, and I might not get it perfect or get exactly what I want, or I gotta be able to accept that there will be a better revision later that I am not entitled to.
Well, I mean, there are. Go ahead.
Sorry, I was gonna say I think we're in a better position to understand that mentality of the first run because we actually do it. But someone ordering a product might not understand that they're potentially buying something that's not really far away from a prototype.
They might be ordering something that's ultimately going to be a paperweight that's going to sit in a box.
Yeah.
Believe me. There are good lessons there of what to do and what not to do. But in the case of people like Paprium and Badass Consoles, I mean, make no mistake, I was a big champion for that guy. I wanted him to do well. And then when I saw all the nonsense he was talking about everybody else, how can you do that and be in a position to be so disparaging when you have nothing on the table to offer to anybody, literally? I just don't understand. I really don't understand people like that. I guess it's a compensating. I think that's a compensating tactic. That's how you compensate for things that you lack in.
I'm not getting into the psychology of it. Point is,
what do you know about psychology, anyways?
Yeah,
You're a Scientologist.
about as much as you.
Hey, I have degrees in parapsychology and sexual.
I love the Ghostbusters references.
Mooney asks, Voltar, did Terra Onion really screw you out of a payment for work? Well, let me, Bob
will
mentioned
you
that.
tell the story, Zach?
Well, I'll tell a very sort of I'll tell a very rudimentary story here. So basically, I helped Terra Onion with a lot of their data because they were doing everything wrong. And we talked, and they thanked me, and they asked me how they could pay me. I said, I don't want anything from you. I don't want you to give me money, but what would be really nice is if you sent me one of those Neo Geo flash cards.
Which are great, by the way.
No problem. It'll be in the mail next week. That's been like 6 months ago. And I've been talking to their ambassador, which is Todd, on Twitter now. I think Todd, I don't know his handle. But I ask him every few weeks, have you, because he's right up there with them, talking to him, and he's sort of their ambassador. Todd is the liaison between, I guess, the customer base and Terra Onia, and he's like, I will get this done for you. I will make sure. And first of all, this isn't Todd's fault. He has no control or power over this. He's like, I'll get this done for you. You're going to get that. You're going to get this. Da 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 da. I ask him every other week, and it's always some excuse where he's not spoke to them or they've not spoke to him, and they totally rip me off. And I didn't ask for money, but it's the principle of the matter. Of course, I mean it's the principle of the matter, and I put a lot of time in that to help them. I didn't make any money off their product, and the fix that I developed, I didn't make any money off that. I'm giving that away freely to everybody anyways.
Yeah, that's the thing that I really want to make sure that everybody here understands is that we're not talking about, oh, I looked over their board and gave my feedback. You did a shitload of research, and they completely fucked you over. They didn't give you what they promised. They did, the behavior's inexcusable.
Whoa, Todd is cool.
Well, first of all, when the V1 SSDS3 came out, it had all these problems, and they're like, they talked to me like, can you help us? I said, sure. Here's a 10-line list of things that you need to change. They did 2 or 3 of those out of the 10. And that's why the video had problems even up until the V2 release, was because they took a few things that I said and they took liberties with just about everything else, and the video still wasn't where it should or could have been. And then after that, it's like, we're going to send you this, thank you, we'll jerk you off, and now they don't send anything to me. So that's just really disappointing.
Yeah,
I didn't
now
ask
you
for
know what
money.
it's like with dealing with their lies. And
What are you
what really
talking about,
bothered
Bob?
me is the people that said things like, well, this is a company that's made other good products. Why would they lie about you? There's no reason to, so I'm going to believe them. And I'm just like, oh, I mean, I understand, but that still sucks.
Sure.
I miss
You
sitting
know,
down there.
I'm one of those people that I operate under the mantra that your word and your reputation is your absolute bond in everything that you have. And when you do something to compromise that, it's over for me, buddy. I mean, it's done. And so it's really unfortunate when that happens. Just like HD Retrovision. That's why we don't have company retreats anymore. So
Happy Shaz donated a couple bucks and asked, what are these donations fund? Well, besides Bob's Alcoholics Anonymous treatments, so far it's been enough to pay for hosting all of the audio on SoundCloud.
That's wonderful.
So now every stream has been archived on audio, so people can be bored in their car on the way to work.
Wait, wasn't there like one stream that had a problem?
Yeah, okay, so the Christmas special from last year has I think a bunch of copyright violations, and I just didn't bother to figure out another way to download it, because YouTube won't let you download your own video if it's got copyright claims on it.
Oh, you use 4K video downloader.
Yeah, I used to have a plugin for Chrome that could do it, but I think YouTube got them to stop allowing it.
It's easy. You just leave your computer on and hit record. Go out to the store.
But yeah, but it wasn't all lost. All of the research and all of the work that went into that fucking board for the PC Engine lent itself to video in general on the PC Engine. I figured out some unique idiosyncrasies, and I applied the things that I found to the Duo RGBX, which is the final PC Engine analog board that I'll make for the Duo, and that it was kind of a blessing in that sense. So.
Zach, do you know how many final revisions of your boards I've tested for you?
Well, Bob.
It's
You
like
gotta
the final revision of a Firebrand X color palette. It's just not gonna happen.
Final
Well, I mean, in
revision
fairness-
version 2.
The SNES and N64 stuff hasn't been touched in like a year.
This is one of those spots that I can't get to. I don't need to do a hell run. Right?
Bob, this is anything but a hell run. Come on.
No, you know what I mean. Like I don't need to jump into the fire and move left because the one thing, it's been years since I've played this, and the one thing I remember is you do have to backtrack a couple of times. I do remember the things that you find being less than impressive.
Backtracking is what Metroid's all about.
Yeah, but backtracking to find something cool is totally worth it. Backtracking to find like one extra missile tank, not so much.
That missile tank lets you progress, and
It's gonna be one of these days, Bob. You're gonna wish you had 5 more missiles.
So, Bob, in seriousness, did you reveal? I mean, what I'm really wanting to know. What are you playing this on? Is this with the Woozle kit?
I am not saying. I'm not saying at all. Sorry.
when will we find out?
End of
When
next
will
week.
when will then be now?
The end of next
End
week.
of next week?
Yeah. Oh,
That's
wait, no,
pretty lame,
Eon's
Bob.
announcements tomorrow? Oh, maybe you'll find out tomorrow. Maybe this is the Eon Game Boy Advance system.
What? Okay, an emulator that runs on what, Bob? For God's sakes, that's the most retarded thing you've ever said.
I don't know about that.
No.
Fair enough, sir. Fair enough.
I want to talk about Mr. boards for a few minutes.
Mr. FPGA?
Yeah, Mr.
Yes.
FPGA. Get it right, man.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
the
how do you know
hardcore.
this isn't,
Mr.
running on
Coffee.
the Mr.? It's
Yeah, this is a Mr. stream after all.
So I know I told a lot of people that I was going to make some Mr. FPGA SD-RAM boards. I do intend on making those. What happens is I ordered prototypes of those SD-RAM boards in order to assemble a few of them on my own to make
For me.
yeah, and make a couple for Zach too, and also to be able to make an assembly procedure for my factory in China so that I can place a large order for people who want to buy some. But if you live in Canada right now, you'll know that Canada Post is on rotating strikes, which means that the postal service is fucking slow right now.
Hey, Renee, can I ask, how long has the Canadian Post Office been on strike? Has it been over a month?
Yes, it's been over a month.
Okay, so I sent a package to somebody in Canada 4 weeks ago, and it still is showing as just left. So,
Yeah.
Okay.
So-
I'm glad you told us that because I was about to send something today.
You should wait. Yeah.
USPS, but now I'm gonna send a UPS. So
Yeah.
That's for the
So-
best.
So, because I ordered on, I wasn't thinking because I knew there were strikes. On October 24th, I ordered like a few STM32 boards from a website which has a store in Saskatchewan. So usually Canada to Canada is 3 days maximum, and it only arrived today. So that took almost 3 weeks internal to Canada. So
You know, those post office workers better be careful, because if they don't stop striking, the government's going to take away their polite money.
they make a fuck ton of money. Those goddamn postmen. They make as much money as I do, and I like have a real job with real education.
Oh, dude.
I mean, he's got a point. I mean,
you live in the middle of fucking nowhere. Like, I don't see you trudging out in the snow to give you your dumb childhood video game packages.
You know,
Here you go, Renee.
I
Here's
know
your little
this is
Sega
like
Genesis game you ordered off eBay again.
Yeah, and I'm waiting a fucking.
Don't
long
mind
time
me.
for it.
It's only negative 32 degrees Celsius outside and 8 feet of snow.
It's only 32 Kelvin. I'm fine.
You know, I know this is a terrible thing to say, and I'm sure I'm going to get lynched for saying it, but generally speaking, everybody I've met from the post office that does the deliveries is cool people. They like walking, you know, they do their shit, whatever. But I have had
People in
so many
offices.
nightmare.
Yeah.
I was just talking to somebody today because the woman, you know, you ever see Drinking Your Juice in the Hood? There's pretty much that lady owns the convenience store up the street from me. So she's talking to me, and I paid in $100 because I sold something, and somebody gave me $100 bill. That's not how I roll, walking around with hundies. But
Bob, I told you need to keep your liver.
But she jokingly was like, "Oh, let me make sure this is real," and I told her the 100% true story that I was at a post office in Schaumburg, Connecticut, right by an office I worked at. And I walked in one time, and the guy behind the counter, I paid, you know, it was like an $80 shipment to who knows where. I paid with $100, and the guy takes the brown magic marker, puts it on it, puts the $100 in a drawer, and goes, "This is fake. Get out of here. I'll call the police." And I burst out laughing because I was like, "Oh, this, you know, he's just trying to be funny, and it's not that funny." And then he's just staring
It's
at
not
me,
that funny.
and I'm like, "Dude, are you joking? Because I just got that from the bank." Like, the bank. And he goes, "No, seriously, I'll call the cops." And I lost my shit. I started fucking screaming. I got my $100 bill back. I went back to the bank.
Whoa. You're yada over the best part. How did you get the $100 bill back?
Oh, no. I was such a horrendous prick. I made it clear that the only way I was leaving without that $100 bill was if they called the cops and, you know, and had me arrested. There's no fucking way. So I ended up, I took the bill back to the bank. The bank, they put it on their scan, and they're like, no, this is fine. So I went back a couple days later because I had to ship that thing anyway, and the same guy was there. I was like, "Hey, dude, I brought this back to the bank, and they said it was fine." And he swiped the marker on it again. He's like, "Oh yeah, I guess my marker must be bad." So that means that guy is either such a complacent piece of shit that he just loves on his high horses, you know, being able to boss people around, or he's stealing people's $100 bills. He's done this.
That's right.
But that's one of 100.
Well, it could also be that like his lunch sucked that day.
Oh no.
Something stupid like that.
Yeah, this guy, I get the impression this guy did this a lot. And there's a few, even the guy down the street from me wouldn't give me an international label. I just spent like $100 and something on shipping to God knows where. So today, can I just grab one more of these pieces quickly, please? I'll have one back tomorrow. And he goes, "No." And I go, "What do you mean, no?" And he goes, "Well, we can't just give these away. If we give them away, then we won't have any for us. And if you don't give them away, I'm going to use fucking UPS." And he said no, so I ended up using UPS just to be a douchebag.
Oh, never mind. You'll know in a few days, I guess, Bob. Never mind.
I don't even know what that means.
Yeah, never mind. It's not bad.
Did you get my last kickback where I just poured a cup full of used bad capacitors in the box?
I thought all the kickbacks would get like auto return.
Yeah, did I not set that up? Damn it, wife. I thought she set that up. I guess not. You know what's interesting? I'm watching you play this, Bob, and I saw Jason over there on Butt Sex. He had a video update on the Woozle kit. And or maybe Woozle directly uploaded this. I can't remember. It was either an update from Jason or Woozle did this. Steven did this directly. But at any rate, there is an option to, on the fly, not with presets, but you have fine-tuned control over the palette and I guess sort of the gamma of the output, where you can darken it, lighten it, change the hue up a bit. I guess what I'm most interested in about that is the fact that you can sort of offset what Nintendo did by making the colors a little more vivid and bright for those non-backlit screens of the old Game Boy. You really have fine control over the gamma levels and over the sort of just the color saturation and output of the picture, and I think that's pretty amazing.
Well, you got most of that right. So I believe the gamma is the opposite. I think Nintendo made it really bright to compensate for the no backlight. So if you use
Right.
yeah, so it's the
That's what I
opposite.
said.
Oh, all right. Sorry. But the
Isn't that
gamma
what I
boost
said?
turns the brightness down, not up. I thought you said the gamma turns the brightness up.
Couple
You know-
things. People are still complaining that they can't hear Bob.
Well, you people complain that you hear me too much, all right? So I blame just if you have a problem with it, you can blame support at hdretrovision.com because they're the ones that always complain about hearing me. So
But anyways, so Bob, that feature though, that's pretty awesome.
yeah.
Sounds like you know a lot about this thing, Bob.
Well, I mean, I've been talking to Woozle since day one, so yeah, I do have a bit of insider info on that. Yeah.
And on that topic, I mean, just a few minutes ago in the chat, there were some people arguing about the merits of the GBI versus the Woozle kit. So what are the main differences between the two?
Well, I would have to say that the number one thing for me personally about the Game Boy interface is just that right now, that's the only way to go through RGB. So if I'm playing this on my OLED, if I were playing it on my D32, I would definitely be using the Game Boy interface. To the point where one of these days when I actually have a free moment, I might harass Scrums a bit to see if we can do a widescreen RGB output, so that we might possibly be able to, for the 25 people in the world that have widescreen monitors, maybe we could have Game Boy Advance in full screen on the BDMs. So that is the number one for me. The ability to use the Game Boy Advance as controller with the games that, because you know how the Game Boy Player had those enhancements and stuff. So that's another thing, and of course you can even record. I haven't tried this yet, but I saw the option to record your own gameplay. So for speedrunners and stuff like that, that looked killer. So there's still a lot of shit from the Game Boy interface that makes it. I mean, to be perfectly honest, I think which one you choose simply comes down to whether you're going to play on a flat screen or RGB.
I think it really comes down to two things: latency, which I think the GBI is fairly low latency now, but latency and I don't like using the GameCube controller, but you can get around that. You can get Super Nintendo-esque controllers to work with the Game Boy interface, but also resolution. The GBI software, it can now jam out 720. Can it do 720?
So I haven't had a chance to test all of that extra stuff. My GameCubes were I didn't have access to them, so I do now, and I'm going to try that soon. But with the stock stuff, you can only get up to 480p. But yeah, I do think that the output. I think Extrems might be in the chat. So
He is. He's in the chat.
Oh,
Yeah.
cool. So yeah, if I would love to see how this works at 720p. I think there was even a 1080i mode that was really for like experimental use, but that's some impressive shit.
Yeah, that's super impressive. So,
I thought it was the same pixel clock. It's just you kind of just shift where your data is in more vertical lines instead of horizontal samples. That's how I thought it was. But,
then that's not really 720.
but Extrems is here, so he would know.
Come
But
on, Extrems.
we got donations in.
Oh yeah,
two
someone.
donations.
Oh yeah. Thanks for pointing that out. I want to see you lads play Elevator Action Returns. I don't know what that is.
I think it's
Sounds
a sequel
awesome
to
though.
the NES game. Remember Elevator Action? Actually, that was another one of my fake accounts, Nick. That was me requesting that. I can't believe you guys blame me for shit like this. It really gets old. I'm a good man.
So yeah, Extreme says it's the same pixel clock. Extrema awesome, amazing. Asks our thoughts on the Hyperkin Bluetooth N64 controller.
It's gonna suck just like the rest of it. But back to things that are important that I want to hear
I will
about.
say I think Hyperkin does a decent job on at least the wired third-party controllers.
For sure.
Like it's the one thing from them that I think has been pretty decent. I don't really like any of their other products, so I don't know. I'd be willing to test it out, give it a shot.
My 2 cents on that is last time I looked at Bluetooth, it had 30 seconds of
30 seconds.
30 milliseconds, sorry,
30 seconds away.
of inherent lag.
That would be awesome.
Can't even play Final Fantasy 2 with that. John DePietro says, just jumped on to donate to Nick's Sega CD fund. If Voltar plays Conquer Bad Fur Day, I'll send Nick a Model 2 CD. No, you can send that to me, John.
Well, he went to
I was
Model
actually
5.
thinking about playing Conquer's Bad Fur Day next time.
John is the owner of Tasty Chicken in Bensonhurst. And I went there yesterday to pick up food for everybody before I went to Brooklyn Video Games, and I jacked the store for like an hour taking video of shit. So, thank you, John.
Thank you, John. I appreciate you doing that for my friends. You know,
So,
but I know.
bullshit N64 controllers aside, can you smart gentlemen please explain to me what you were just talking about the pixel clock in 720p?
Well, the sampling rate of the resolution. If the Game Boy, if
You can
Extremes
pump out a
is-
fixed number of pixels per unit of time. So he's
Correct.
sacrificing horizontal
resolution.
to get more vertical.
So even though it is kind of 720, it's kind of a mangled, butchered 720.
Okay.
So imagine
It's very similar to the Wii. It's very similar to the Wii, Bob. It's really the same problem, where 480p pixel clock or the 480p bandwidth is more akin to an interlace 480i as opposed to being 480p.
So if you normally have 720 by 480, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then you want 720 on the vertical, then you only have 480 on the horizontal, because the two numbers that multiply together have to add up to the same amount,
That's right.
right?
Okay.
It's like, your line delay, like 64 microseconds times how many samples you have for the line and blah, blah, blah. And that's how you come up with the number.
You're not getting through to him because he's not saying gotcha.
Well, if he said gotcha, then we knew he didn't understand.
Hey, can you guys explain to me what the hell I'm doing wrong here? What am I missing?
Oh, Jesus, Bob. Come on. You know that you can't be here yet.
This reminds me of
Yeah,
that
but then
video.
how do I go back?
This reminds me of the video that game journalist trying to play Cuphead in the intro level.
God, I feel like Adam Korlick trying to detect lag in something.
Bob, this is
Don't take your shitty video game skills out on other people, Bob.
spam.
Oh, that's what that was.
Yeah,
Okay,
is
I'm
there any
such a dork.
thing
Oh.
on the floor? Just drop a bunch of bombs.
Bob, start
Oh,
spamming bombs on the floor, you fucking...
I thought I did that, but alright.
It's amazing, Bob, how that works. Metroid Fusion's one of my favorite games. How the fuck is that possible, Bob, when you can't even beat this?
I told everybody I haven't played it in years.
I'm such an asshole. It's so good.
I really
This,
do. Like,
this looks
I
better
never
to me
played
than
it.
the Metroid 2 thing.
AM2R, really?
No, not AM2R, the official one.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Oh, Metroid Return or Samus Returns?
Yeah, I hated
Yeah,
it.
that game was shit.
I hated it.
I hated that lock-on move that you have to do, that like parry. I hated all the extra shit. They shouldn't just.
I hated the physics and the movement. I felt like Samus was in water, but she weighed 300 pounds. I didn't like it.
Like me swimming.
Oh, Bob, one thing I was going to ask. I know that the prototype that I was sent 6 months ago for the Game Boy Advance, the Woozle shit, there was no digital audio. Is there a DAC on board now that will stream audio into the video output?
Yeah. So there is a DAC, and he found a bug in Alien Hominid. And one other game, I believe, where it pops a little bit. So you would want to use the 3.5mm output.
I wonder if do those games have just unique audio sampling frequencies or something that kind of throw the DAC off? Or I wonder does he have an idea of what might be the cause of that?
Yeah, I think all of Game Boy Advance uses a strange audio frequency.
Whoa. There's Alien Hominid came out for Game Boy Advance? I didn't
Right.
know that.
Yeah.
Shit, man, I kind of want that.
But the analog, the one thing that I've noticed a lot with trying to capture analog audio is that things that sound perfect through headphones, through good studio quality headphones, if I try to record the analog audio, I get a lot of interference in many of the different ways. So having an analog to digital converter built into something, and then doing like a digital HDMI capture, I always get better quality audio.
Bob, does Woozle fuck with the? Does he manipulate the vertical refresh in order to make the output more complementary to the video spec, or does he let that? Does he have a free running output to where your TV may like it? If it does, great. If it doesn't, here's a more Kevtris friendly version of the video output, so it'll get along across the board.
Here's a bit of insider info, so the 9,900 people watching now, please don't spill the beans. But he uses a frame buffer that buffers the first 20 lines of the Game Boy Advance's video. So it doesn't add any perceivable lag, but it does it enough where he's able to rewrite the refresh rate. So you don't get, like at the beginning of this game, you know how I said, hey look, there's no tearing or stutter? That's the example I always use for...
he does 20 scan lines, so... Let's see, that's 64 microseconds is a line times 20. That's 1.4, 1.2, 1.3 milliseconds is what it takes to do that.
Mm-hmm.
So that's pretty good.
So I guess technically speaking, every few minutes you might get stutter, but
a little jump.
Yeah, it would be a jump every few minutes. Whereas,
okay.
like, if you're playing the Super Game Boy, the original Super Game Boy, not Super Game Boy 2, that's like a jump every 4 seconds or something.
Okay, the reason I ask that is isn't he declocking it a bit, or isn't he manipulating the clock? So doesn't that in effect manipulate how fast the?
Here's the funny part of that. He the crystal, right? The clock speed. The one that he uses is more accurate than the one that Nintendo used, because he uses like a 1% tolerant one or whatever, 5% as opposed.
It goes to like the 100,000th or something.
30 ppm.
Yeah.
Okay, I got it.
That is hilarious too. You said it was funny.
Yeah, because
really
one of the things that I tried to tell him at first was like, hey, just be aware that speedrunners, like milliseconds matter.
Woozle's here.
Oh, is he?
Oh, hey, Woozle,
Awesome.
you sick man.
And we were both laughing at the fact that, like, well, how are speedrunners now going to deal with the fact that his is more accurate? So.
Yeah,
I think the answer is who gives a shit.
Well, I mean, a lot of people do, including me,
Speedrunners,
Nick, because I had a long conversation with a guy in chat about the merits of combining speed runs from games like a PlayStation game played on bare metal, a PlayStation game played on a PS2, and the same PlayStation game being played on the PSP and Vita. I don't think it's fair to catalog all of those runs as the same system. And evidently for a lot of games, people do. People don't discriminate against runs on emulated versions because the rule is, as long as it's an official means, it doesn't make any difference. I think that's the most retarded thing I've ever heard in my life, personally.
Yeah, because I've noticed that. Well, I mean, you know what? You're not wrong, but at the same time, then how would you calculate things like people who do full recaps on their PlayStations at a brand new laser, calibrated under a scope properly, and then and use that to speedrun versus people that just buy one out of a game store? Don't the people that, you know, put a brand new laser in a recap and do a calibration, don't they have a significant advantage?
Right, but that advantage, in my opinion, is readily available to anyone who wants to have that done. You're not manipulating the hardware in a way that it becomes unstock. You're just tuning it the way it's supposed to be tuned. So regardless if you have a new laser or an old laser, you know, it's in your capacity to change those things, to make those things better or worse even. So I think making sort of emulation and other sort of representations of these video games, making that akin to somebody who has a tuned up PlayStation where someone else might not have a tuned up PlayStation, I think that's kind of a false equivalency, in my opinion.
Huh.
Steve, do you have any thoughts?
My cat smells like cat food.
My cat's breath.
Yeah, it's just like NASCAR. I mean, you have a stock car, right?
Yeah, let the speedrunning community figure it out.
Let them figure it out. Who cares about speedrunning?
Figure it out.
All right, so speaking of speedrunning, I'm doing the opposite because I think I just wandered into the section that you shouldn't wander to without the high jump or without the gravity boost.
Dude, man, you should start like slow running games. That'd be the new trend. Like everybody would catch on, and you get a million hits.
Yeah, Electron Ash says people still aren't understanding why the Mister doesn't have near zero lag via HDMI yet. Even the high-def NES has to change the NES's PPU clock just a teensy bit, and that's true. For every hour of time that passes with the high-def NES kit, you're losing 6 seconds. So, I mean, it would be very easy for speedrunners just to create a coefficient for per every 60 minutes, add an additional 6 seconds to your run, but, you know, I wish Kevin had a way to set that, to set your high-def NES kit into sort of a pass-through mode. If your TV agrees with it, great. If your TV doesn't agree with it, here, we'll use the slightly retarded clock, and you know, your system will run off that.
It's just one more way for people.
I don't think you're allowed to say that
mess
anymore,
up.
Zach. I think you're supposed to say that clock speed took a shorter bus to school than the other clock speeds.
Oh, Jesus.
Jesus, Bob. God almighty.
Great, we're getting banned for hate speech.
Yeah, here we go. Here come the
Zach
letters.
did it. Don't blame me.
Hey, I didn't do anything.
Dark Aries Knight had a good point. Said if you're not, basically, since you're not speedrunning, you are doing a let's play.
Fair enough.
That's a good point, though. Like, I think it's interesting, though. You know, I was always wondering. I kind of did some research on this. How the Super Game Boy has the CPU on board, but it actually exercises the picture processing unit of the Super NES to draw the graphics and to store the graphics and to make the sprites and to do all that stuff. I thought that was really interesting. So people were like, it's not emulation, it's straight up hardware. Not exactly. No more is it than the PlayStation 2.
Yeah, well, there's not enough bandwidth to the cartridge to transmit every frame every second. The
That's right.
DMA is just not that fast. I mean, yeah, just have a look at Sega CD video, right? The Sega Genesis is a much faster system, and it can't DMA more than 15 or so frames per second.
That's right.
So you've got to have some sort of compromise in there for the Game Boy player to work correctly.
But Bob, is the game? Are you playing, or is this the demo reel again? Because I've seen this.
I hate all you
Like
guys.
the same thing over and over again.
I don't know.
That was a
People in
serious
the-
question.
People in chat were
Wait,
reminded
wait.
of the My Life in Gaming stream where they were playing Panzer Dragoon for like the last
was
boss
there.
for like 8 hours.
I was in
Orda.
from the beginning to the end. It was
Orda.
so good. It was
Yeah,
Xbox
Orda.
Orda. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, does
Or
anybody
Mark.
have any suggestions of where the fuck I'm supposed to go?
Yeah. Bring up your map. Bring up your map, Bob.
What's
And
up?
when you bring up your map, you'll see. Okay, there's a delay here. It
okay.
basically tells you where to go.
Oh, okay. Well, it's on the screen now, Zach. Tell me where to go.
Well, there's a delay here. Okay, Bob. Do you see the area right there that says go here?
What happens if you hit objective?
You see the place, Bob, where there's a door that's not been accessed?
Bomb data download complete. Proceed.
It's
to
right above the
navigate.
save. It's the room right above the save station. Why don't you try going there?
Oh, okay. Yeah, no problem, Zach. Hold on. Let me just. Yeah, if I'd only thought of how to go there.
It's either that or you go north. Either that or you go up top. Either you go straight up or you go to the right,
Okay,
Bob.
so
It's
I
not.
can't go there, and that's too high to jump.
You've been there before.
Yeah. None of these go somewhere.
Keep spam. Have you spammed the floor with Renee with bombs, Bob? Maybe there's another little thing that'll pop up. Oh, I see another door, Bob, that's not been opened. Under the missile marker on the map.
Yeah, I'll go back there for you.
You don't even have to go back there for me, Bob. You need to really start doing things for yourself.
Let me-
Yeah, don't. Yeah, look at your
Didn't
map.
it say to backtrack to the navigation room from the beginning?
Yeah, and then Adam will give you new coordinates because you know this game's super linear. It's hard to get lost.
The only thing I can think of is I missed another one of those
Bob.
floor elevator things.
What you need to do is you need to go up. You need to get up. I know where to go. I figured this out. I'm a genius.
Oh yeah.
Just for fun.
While you're playing Soul Calibur too at the same time, by the way, you're solving
Exactly.
both games.
I just beat it. That's why you see the credits here.
Alright, so there's
You gotta hit the floor, right?
there's nothing here, and I can't hit that.
That's what she said.
Hit it.
You can't hit that.
So obviously, Bob, you've got to go forward. You're running out of ideas here. You know what I'm saying?
I think I already did this 2 or 3 times, but let me.
Are those dots on the map representative of targets that you're supposed to go to?
Missile. Oh yeah, those are like, aren't those like items?
That's an item you already got.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, keep bombing the worthless, useless areas, Bob.
So that second save point, the one above you and to the right,
Mm-hmm.
how do you get there?
Well, that's where he was initially, and he was bombing under that little platform, and he couldn't get over it because, well, he's, you know, not the
No,
sharpest.
no. Like that corridor that goes straight to that save point.
Yep. I will get there right now.
Do you fix Neo Geo AES Gold system? No. No, I'm sorry, no, I don't actually. I'm trying to get my.
Is that like the Linux handheld one?
Yeah, is that the fake one?
Yeah. That's the
With
one that has the shitty HDMI output and the reversed audio and all of that nonsense.
I think so. This little hook right here where he's bombing, that reminds me of Brinstar, or Kraid's hideout, for some reason. It just,
I really don't like the wall jumping mechanics.
Oh,
in
and
this, in
Fusion
this one.
sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As opposed to Super Metroid. Super Metroid is so fluid.
Oh, I am so dumb. I think now that I'm looking at this, I think I know exactly what yeah. Alright.
well, this is what I told you to do before, and you're like,
That's
"Eh,
not what you said.
Totally is, Bob. I said go to the save point. I said there's an unopened room there. You bomb right there. You didn't do it. You didn't do it, Bob. Once again, Bob, you've just proved your.
Yeah, you big dub. Sorry, that was a comment from chat.
Interesting tidbit though. This game does use the Wario Land 4 engine.
Does it?
Yep.
You know what the best Wario Land is? The one on Virtual Boy. That one's amazing.
I totally agree. That's the only reason I ever owned a Virtual Boy as a kid. And oh my god, I wish it would have gotten ported.
I've said this story many times, but I got a Virtual Boy in box for 50 cents at a garage sale.
That's amazing. I got one when I was a kid. That was what I got for Christmas one year.
Garage.
Teru Althea is saying you need to be 1 floor up. You come through
In my
from
face.
the floor above this one.
Huh.
God damn, Bob. What did you? What's going on over there? John McClane taking names?
Good thing we have an audience that's like good at playing video games to compensate.
At this point, I'm just excited I'm actually able to play a video game.
Have you not been able to do that in a long time since your injuries to your back, Bob?
No. That when I took the few months off, that's actually the first time I got to really play games in a long time. And
my
now that
God.
I'm back, I do not really play games anymore. Mostly just make videos about how nice it was to play games.
Bob, I noticed that you recently hit the 10K mark. Are you proud of that?
Yeah, very.
do you feel like you're, are you getting tired of the YouTube thing? Do you feel like you've
I
got?
think you need to go through the next room.
Do you feel like you've got a lot of fun stuff that you've yet to do that you're going to show people? And
I honestly think that there's a few more things. There's been videos that I've been holding off on just because.
Hey,
I don't know what that noise was, Nick.
there you go.
Oh, all right. But there's definitely a few videos I've been holding off on because I wanted to make sure I had enough followers and enough skill to do it because they're just awesome things I want to do. And now I think I'm approaching the point where I could do that. So.
Bob, is this running on the Polymega?
No, it's the Coleco Chameleon.
do you guys, do you think there's any chance whatsoever, that this Pep Smerium nonsense is like maybe do you think their exchange mailboxes went down and that's what the problem is? You know what I mean?
You know what? Honestly, Zach, that is a very, very plausible thing that could happen to any one of us. So, and in fact, you yourself, I've seen have email problems before. And do you remember how you handled that? You went on Twitter and told everybody you were having email problems.
Yeah, they.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Let me go check their Facebook page.
I mean, I'm saying, of course, these are all fantastical theories, but maybe, maybe.
Yeah, they haven't updated anyone.
What the hell? What did they think was going to happen? That's what I always ask. What did they think was going to happen? That the people were just going to go away and not ask for refunds, or?
I really want to know what the whole party situation was about. Like, why did they have that party?
Was it a quick?
There absolutely had to have been one of those reasons that, like, that doesn't apply to this, but there's a good reason for. Like, the person who threw it. It could have been as simple as the person who threw it wanted to show off to whoever they were trying to bang. Or it could be as complicated as they gave up on this, but they're working on something else and wanted to impress an investor or something.
No, I don't think that has any. I don't think any investor would be that stupid. I think that the only reason they had any sort of party was they stood to make some kind of money from that party. I don't know how, but I think that was a cash grab of some kind.
Well, somebody screenshotted actual PCBs from that from the videos of that party, right? And they looked like custom PCBs with some QFN parts on it and whatnot. It seemed
There were a lot
like
of stuff, a lot of shit on there.
yeah, it seemed like a really expensive board actually. So
Yeah, Renee, I could design a board that would look really, really good at a party.
no, but
Well,
I mean,
it did play a thing.
yeah.
A completed game. It was a tech
Right,
demo.
No,
I mean-
there were no enemies on the screen. It was really bad. There were no enemies on the screen. It was wonky. It didn't really play right. There was a bunch of shit like that.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm not commenting on the quality of the game at all. I'm commenting on the physicality of the PCB that we saw in the screenshot.
Hey man, the program counter got past the reset vector. It's pretty good.
I mean,
That's almost the game right there.
potentially there could have been stuff on that board that just wasn't wired or anything. I don't know.
Sega 6-pack style.
I don't know what in that tech demo required all that circuitry.
It would be very funny if they really did just make the best Genesis game ever, and they were this is part of their marketing. It's just dropping off the face of the planet until they have something to show everybody.
I think that in recent events with certain GameCube mod kits that's been tried and failed miserably. I don't think that's the way to go. I don't think that's what they've done, Bob.
Yeah, they should have observed that Badass Consoles has tried this approach and it doesn't work.
But Bob, I don't think you're gonna win.
Bob, what are you doing? You don't do that.
I don't know. It seems like a fun thing to do.
Okay. How come you don't use the charge beam at all?
Takes too long to
Yeah,
charge.
you can use that as a fake screw attack. At least. Bob, do you know what you're doing?
Sort of.
Yeah, you can't fight the clone until the end of the game.
Yeah, when you have, yeah, exactly. You know what I never liked though is you didn't get until the very end of the game. You had ice diffusion missiles. You had no ice beam. I thought that was really lame.
Hey, there's an excellent theory in the chat. Maybe Badass Consoles is on the Paprium team.
Aw.
I mean, I don't know, Bob. You would know. Bob, do you got some information for us?
No.
Yeah. What does your BFF say?
Yeah.
I wish he funded everybody, and I just wish his reaction to other people doing well wasn't to badmouth them. It's not, you know, or if you're going to do that privately to your friends, knowing that there's no reason to badmouth people and you're just venting. That's what your friends are for. It's
Right.
not what,
I mean,
you know, a public
Every
forum
time
is for.
HD Retrovision struggle, I get on the phone with Boltar and I just talk about how much I can't stand Retro RGB and everything it stands for.
Me too. I do the same thing. Only I tell people that I can't stand myself. Fucking hate that guy. I mean, yeah. I mean, this isn't the kind of business where you want to make enemies.
Didn't we cover this topic like an hour and a half ago?
Why are you so sensitive to it, Nick? That's what I want to know.
Bored.
I mean, bored? Really? Have you seen what we're watching?
Yeah.
Did I just screw myself?
I think the audio went on demo mode, and so it's just repeating.
Just replaying our initial Paprium.
I mean, you know, it's
Hey,
interesting that
seriously, did I just screw myself and I'm not able to get out now?
No, Bob, Jesus.
Yeah, I don't,
Go.
it did seem like you kind of glitched into here.
Oh man, I was trying to be all
You
cool
got the
like
you
Renee.
got the jump ball. You go back in there, Bubby. Okay. Oh, did you get this? You got this. You didn't get the spider ball. Try to. You don't cling to the surfaces, do you?
No.
Gonna absent myself for 2 minutes.
Bomb the block.
You're gonna have to bomb jump your way up there.
Oh. Thank you, Steve.
No, you can't underwater.
You'd think I would have fucking learned that by now.
Bob,
That wasn't me. That's the
look, see.
Teru Aleta guy in the chat. Like actually knows how to play like this shitty game, and so he's telling you all the right things.
But
He
Metroid
told-
DNA. Yes, but Terra Aloof. When you absorb the SAX at the end, the DNA nullifies the DNA of the SAX once it joins to you. Nullifies that weakness. It cancels it out. So you no longer have that ice beam vulnerability because you sort of patch that DNA up. You see, you
I
understand.
think this is a good thing to know is Teru says that there is no bomb jumping in this game.
Oh, none at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was trying to do that before and it was failing miserably, and it wasn't just my skills.
Bob, what are these creatures that look like you on a Sunday morning?
That's fair.
You guys are such. You know, you guys have been really mean to me. I get blamed for fucking shit that's said in chat, and
Don't
All
blame
this-
to you.
Come on, man, you loved that.
And there is nothing that you've said or that you've been blamed for saying that you didn't actually say.
go fuck yourself, Bob. How about that? Call me a victim. I think though, I'm really excited for the Game Boy Advance H. I think a lot of people are going to enjoy it. I think that
It's called the GBA Consolizer now.
is that the official title for it? Woozle, are you still in chat?
I believe it's the same reason that Kevin was called the the HDMI NES, the high def NES, because they're just trying to avoid all weirdness with HDMI licensing. We
Well, I mean,
can't
you're using-
all be
They-
uppity, uppity
They aren't
tricks
even
like
coming
HD
close
Retro.
to avoiding the the stuff with HDMI licensing.
Yeah, well, you know what, Nick? Why don't you and all of your HDMI-based products go fuck yourself?
We will.
Oh, it's so good. It doesn't exist. One day. Maybe. I doubt it.
We can't even call it the HDMizer anymore because that'll violate. So we're literally just going with the analyzer.
Are you serious? You really
Yes.
can't call it HDMI?
We couldn't think of anything better, so we just submitted the trademark for that. And, we'll see how it goes.
Much better name, anyways.
Yeah, I totally agree.
It represents the product better.
So, Bob,
Yes.
or this is really a question for everybody. You know, the big Eon reveal tomorrow, the 15th. Do you have any sort of postulations?
Yeah, I already tweeted about it. It's clearly they let the cat out of the bag with that picture. It is a PlayStation 4 HDMI adapter. All right, I'm sorry. I was gonna try to wait to the end, but I gotta pee really bad. I'll be right back.
Yeah, I thought they let the cat out of the bag when they hired Dan.
Yeah, I mean that pretty much was, the North Star.
Well, so in the last few days we got the component cable announcement from Industrial Industries for the GameCube.
I love that I made that up. People use it.
Yeah.
But I mean,
It's totally industrial industries now.
if Eon is coming out with a component cable too, I'm just going to be really thrilled that there are going to be many options for component cables, because I am in the market for component cables.
So let's do some fun speculating. Let's suppose that Industrial Industries prices their analog, it's just component, at $75, like that's what their HDMI one is, right? $75?
Very close to that. Yeah.
All right, so let's say that they have a component solution that's priced at that, and Eon comes out with one that is dual, but is more expensive.
What do you consider? Define more expensive.
Let's say they put it at $150 like their old one, and then make the single HDMI one cheaper. Let's say they bump that down to compete with Industrial, but they have the dual for $150, or you can have the Industrial Industries for $75. This is just speculation.
Sure.
I don't really know.
Are you saying based
All right,
on
let's
these
say, okay.
parameters, will Industrial Industries be able to compete in the market with them?
Let's phrase it a different way. I'm going to assume that Industrial Industries prices their GameCube component cable at $75, like the HDMI one.
Right.
What price point would getting a dual version still be worth it to you? How much more would you pay for the dual?
I would pay. I mean, for me, maybe 125, 130.
How many would a plurality of the population pay? Like, what value does that provide?
I guess the dual streaming,
general.
right?
I mean, yeah,
So
but
it's just streaming?
So
That's a very small
HDMI to your
standard.
capture and component to
Yeah,
your...
or for people that want analog and digital.
What's the percentage of
I don't know.
people?
I mean, that's a hypothetical. I mean, I would say per capita of people who stream, really, people who stream that need dual anal action, and I would say the people who buy this, I don't know, because I'd say the majority of the people who buy this run games, like in these Smash Brothers tournaments and these other sort of GameCube platform S tournaments. I think that really that might be a pretty big number.
I think
I'm
on
gonna
top of
disagree.
just
I think that the majority of people that buy this are people that just want. In fact, the majority of people that buy the adapters just want to use HDMI, and if an analog adapter like the Insurrection one were to come out, it's just people that want
Yeah, it's Industrial Industries.
yeah, it's just people that want an analog output.
Well, I think Industrial Industries really hit their stride. It was a very inexpensive price point. I didn't like, as some of us, I think as we've talked about this, the through-hole footprint on there. I don't care for that too much from a design perspective. But otherwise, I think they hit a really good price point. And I think from what I've been told, I've not seen one or been sent one, but they have a pretty solid little doodad there.
It's the
I think they've
shuriken
done-
design.
I think they've done it. Yeah, okay. It's predicated off the shuriken. I think they've done a pretty good job.
Yeah, the plug looks really nice.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
super
From
well
pictures.
polished.
That's what I was gonna say. Is what we need to consider too is not only is the price different on both, but one of those connectors, the one from Industrial, looks like it's a superior connector than the one that
It
Eon
is.
using.
Well,
It is.
and on top of
I
that,
like
it's
it
updated.
better.
Well, I
Well-
mean, technically the Eon one's updatable, but you have to cut
No.
the whole thing apart.
Not really.
Well,
Well, Nick-
I don't.
We
Nick
don't know
tried
what
to.
we don't know what they're releasing tomorrow. The new one could be updatable.
Oh,
it
no,
could
I
have
was
a
talking
plug.
about their
It could have all
HDMI.
I
these
don't think
things.
so. I don't think so, Nick, because unless I understand the definition, the word original differently than they do, but the recent tweet said, finally we're going to have an original product that doesn't have
No, that's not what it said.
Yeah.
what did it? Okay, what did it say?
All right, I gotta pull it up.
No, I'm serious. Read the tweet because the way I understood it was they're creating something that's original. to
Tomorrow
them.
will mark our first real product announcement.
Yeah.
Okay.
Real announcement.
Yeah.
So
So they didn't have a big announcement with the last one. I don't.
They didn't need one. They just needed.
No, wait a
stock
minute.
of
Hold
the
on a
product.
second. Hold on a second. Was there not a tweet before that said that they're finally going to have a product that didn't say brought to or that was an original product of their own?
Nope.
I'm
No.
So I just wanted to make this clear. Like, even though it is updatable, the Industrial Industries, it's not very practically updatable. Like, you really need to know your way around Xilinx Impact tool to screw with that stuff.
Or,
It's not.
Or you just need a Steve, because that's what I did. Hey,
That-
Steve, do this for me.
Yeah, and that's.
It's not just touch a little JTAG thing.
I had no idea where you were going with that, Nick. You said touch a little. I just went, uh-oh. Where's he going?
Couldn't think of the acronym. Sorry. Bad place to pause.
So I just wanted to point that out because I actually did the updates, and it was. I don't see many people doing it.
Well, I mean, in total fairness, I encouraged the marriage between Dan and Eon months ago for this to happen. So I hope it all goes well.
Yeah, I mean, maybe Dan had some input into an interesting way to update it. Maybe it's over Wi-Fi.
Oh Jesus! Now you call me an asshole. Listen to you, Nick. You sick bastard.
Just saying, it could be useful to update the thing over Wi-Fi.
And you know what would be even more useful is to have a 45-second intro for your 10-second video that shows you updating it over Wi-Fi.
Let's not also forget that everyone who's pre-ordered GC video from Badass Consoles can also update their devices through the GameCube, which they will never receive.
Thanks for
Jesus.
spoiling the joke.
Jesus Christ!
You guys are brutal.
But I totally agree with you, Renee.
I'm actually excited to see how Eon's videos put together. Those guys are really good at that kind of stuff, like the marketing and just video editing
Yeah,
piece
the
of things.
presentation. They've got
They
a
have
quality
it down,
presentation.
man.
I think as long as they don't have a nerd in a lab coat making bad jokes, they'll probably be fine.
Yeah, see, there's good self-promotion and there's bad self-promotion. Hi, I'm Steve Kulov, and today I would like to ask you to think about
For your money.
for your money so I can make
Hey
component
man,
tables for
I
the
was
sake-
tired. I was reading a textbook and soldering and working on my laptop. at
It
the
was
same
very
time.
William Shatner.
I actually,
his
really
kitchen.
like theirs.
Not this door.
It's like the dramatic pause every 3 seconds. I feel like we've created a great product and we are looking forward to putting it in your hands.
Dude, those were like some of the longest days ever shooting that shit. Oh
Well,
man, it was
now you know
miserable.
how I fucking feel a couple times a week.
Yeah, I don't know why you do it. I don't know why anyone
Sometimes
does
I
the
don't
YouTube thing, really. It's a crazy lifestyle to me. Like, the people that put out things on a daily or scheduled basis. I mean, pushing themselves even like 2-3 videos a week. Forget daily. That just seems like insane to me.
Oh, I was going to say, on the My Life in Gaming stream last Sunday, I jumped on there and they were talking about, Trey and Mark were talking about how they would like to look at the pound cables and see how they fared. And I said in chat, you guys, don't worry, HT Retrovision 2019, January 1st, Dreamcast component cables will be released. I didn't say any of that, but I said in 2022 you guys would have component cables, and
That'd be sweet.
they were really excited about that. Like, I really think they forgot or they didn't know.
Ahead of schedule. 2022.
That's what I
Wow.
said.
Wow.
Speaking of decent soldering irons, I'm actually getting ready to do a video on soldering irons. Yeah, I've been asked this a lot, and I think that it's going to be a really good video, and it's going to be, in my opinion, the best soldering iron you can buy for under $4,000.
Well, thank God.
Thank God you're here.
What would we do without you, Voltar?
I don't know. For fuck's sake, I really don't know what you would do, Bob. Jesus.
I have a much less stressful life, that's what.
Yeah, we could finally shut down the website, sell it to me, let me reskin it as
Us, motherfucker, we talked about this. We had this deal made.
Voltar, try the TS100 iron out and recommend me a PSU.
Oh, yeah. I saw that, and somebody was wanting to send me one, and I didn't do it because, well, no. But, if you want to send me one, I mean, I'll do it for you. You know what I'm saying?
Still like this comment from Ash. What irks me most about the cheapo HDMI mods is the wrong aspect ratio on the Dreamcast.
Huh.
Nobody
Yes.
seems to notice.
Oh, we all noticed. It's just that the reviewers that were sent those things.
Yeah, they don't.
Let's just say that Pound very strategically sent it to the reviewers that they know just really wanted a free cable.
That's right.
There was some other company who I'm not going to call out because
Pussy.
I don't know.
Pussy,
But,
do it.
They sent me it's like the Pound but not. It's like another version of that.
Oh yeah.
It sucked just as much. It most certainly does not do 480i, only 480p, even though their email to me said it did. And then when I sent them a list of questions and asked for an address to send it back to, they stopped responding.
Well, I mean, first of all, you gotta understand that most people just want to hook something up and get something on the screen.
They just want to play the fucking game.
That's what I thought you were gonna say, Steve.
Which somebody mentioned, speaking of which, Adam Corlick didn't notice the squished.
Of course he did.
Well, of course he did.
Of course he didn't.
And all these HDMI Dreamcast stuff, they're all built with the same stuff inside.
Yeah, I mean, that's natural. What it is, hey, this company from China, this is what we're wanting to achieve. Can you make this happen for us? Sure, we can do that. And the same, like 3 or 4 different people reach out to some engineering firm in China, and they all get the same product. That's what's happening.
Well, they all use the same. I think I might have talked about this on a stream before. They all use the same chip that's in those either the VGA to HDMI little boxes that are about this big, or the component ones. They use the same. They're the same chip. It can accept RGB, HV, or YPBPR, sync on green. It's the same IC, and that's what's in all of these Dreamcast HDMI things.
Well, speaking of something decent, Bob, have you checked out the new OSSC firmware that has auto input sourcing, auto input detection, and a few other little cool little tidbits. Have you checked that out?
Yeah, so in all honesty, right when I was about to be preparing the audio for this stream, I started testing the OSSC and I got the firmware loaded on, and that's as far as I got.
Well, Bob, that's really helpful.
Best comment. This feels like watching one of those AI plays a game things.
You can fuck right off.
He's
Bob,
the
I
guy
really-
who's been helping you the whole time.
Yeah, that's
Oh, I'm sorry.
Just hold jump on the right side.
I don't know how you fuck this up, Bob. Are you even paying attention to the game?
Oh
I'm
my
doing a
God,
better
he's
job
right.
playing.
Oh my God, he's right. Oh, fuck myself, not fuck himself. Oh,
I'm doing a better
no.
job playing fucking Soul Calibur 2 on PS3, and it's just the goddamn demonstration
I'm still
going.
doing better than Nick
So,
did.
Bob, are you telling me that you just weren't holding the jump button down all the way?
Apparently, just for that one jump, not for the whole game or anything.
It's like Homer stuck in the vending machines.
Homer, are you just holding onto the can?
Oh.
Quite big.
Oh. Give me a break.
Oh.
I haven't played games in a while, and I haven't played this game in a long time.
Bob, I got a question. How is the input latency with this system?
Tested and verified at less than 1 frame.
Is it possible? Is it 20 lines worth?
I don't know. I did just get a camera that it's 960 frames per second slow motion, and I also only verified that it works. I haven't had time to do any real live testing with it, but man, am I looking forward to now.
I bet you are. You know what's interesting? Extremes was explaining this to me about 6 years ago. The chip on the Game Boy Player that's responsible, it's some sort of real high-speed bus switching chip that does all sorts of it's how it passes the graphic data and how it passes all the audio, how it passes all the data from the Game Boy Player to the GameCube so it can shit the video out. That's really interesting. If you're into that sort of thing, you guys should check that out. Read up about it. It's pretty neat how the Game Boy Player just works. You know what I'm saying? Gotcha.
Cool.
But and I think because of that, the way data is handed off, with the Game Boy Player, you will never, ever, ever, ever get a lagless output.
Yeah, but how lagless is that, though? Are we talking about you'll never get it to 0, but you can get it to 6 milliseconds, so it's, you know, it's not something that anybody could even perceive?
Bob, thank God you did not die.
Anybody? Anybody can answer that question?
I don't know the answer.
Yeah.
Did Zach just drop off? Did his mic get unplugged again? Yeah, there it goes. You heard the little beep.
You're
classic.
supposed to use the charge shot on the eye doors. Kills it in 2
Sorry about
shots.
that. I was caught masturbating by my grandmother. Now, what were we saying? Oh, how lagless is that? I don't know. If it's the same 20-odd scan lines, it's 64 microseconds times 20 fucking 20. If you've got 20 of those, so you're talking like 1.2 milliseconds, 1.3 milliseconds. I think the math's right. But I don't know about the Game Boy Player. I haven't the faintest idea. Oh, Electron Ash says 4 milliseconds. Oh no, was that not Electron Ash? I read it somewhere. 4 milliseconds.
My laptop battery just died, so I can't even see the chat anymore.
Yeah, mine was flickering out there. But of course, Electron Ash also says that the Game Boy Player can be directly modified for HDMI and used solely as a standalone unit.
Oh, really, Ash? Are you gonna do that?
Extreme says
Sorry.
it's 4 scan lines.
Oh, all right, yeah. So
Scan
that's,
line.
in my opinion, that I don't think that's something anybody could ever perceive. So.
Delta X55, I think that's how I would pronounce that, asks, what does the HDMizer do again? My answer is, it inspires hopes and dreams and lets people down.
It's the Retro Tink 2X, but not as good. And you can't buy it.
Yeah, I think Ryan's been selling a lot of those. Good for good.
I think Ryan said that was his fastest selling product and the coolest thing he's ever seen, and he only wishes that somebody would have thought of that 5 years ago.
You know, I mean, all jokes aside, you know what's really great? Finally, there's an affordable, inexpensive device that the layman can buy to pair their HD rectal vision cables up to, so they have 100% guaranteed compatibility with whatever TV set that they decide to use. I think that's fantastic, and I think Mike Chi has done something truly, truly remarkable for the community.
Agreed, 100%.
I mean, you know. Nick, are you still with us?
Yeah. I'm dead on the inside, but I'm still here as a shell.
I like not. Oh, you know, we're trying to poke fun at Nick here, but Mike Chi's a really nice guy. Good guy for sure.
And you know, the product is quite obviously his. It's not like there was nothing nefarious in him making that thing. It's not like he set out to copy an idea that was already out there.
It's not like he went to HD Retrovision's website and looked at a design document and just kind of copied it chapter and verse. Nothing like that. He really made something original.
That's so funny.
Yeah, I like the other original products such as Universal SNES cables and the RGB to component transcoder.
Oh my god.
Super.
But the nice
shit.
thing about what Mike the nice thing about what Mike did was the simplicity of it. It works really, really well. And if you have an old computer, for example, that only puts out an encoded format like S-Video or Composite, and you need to hook that, you don't have a 15 kilohertz display to hook that up to, I think that the Mike's Retro, wait, I can't say them. The device is the best thing ever. The Retro Tink, not
best thing ever.
So what were you saying though? A universal SNES cable? Someone ripped that off?
No, but he didn't rip that off. That's one of the things that he posted for. I'm not even gonna get into it.
Well, no, let's get into it.
I'm just gonna just drop it.
I didn't say that.
I think what Nick was trying to say was universal SNES cable, like a component video cable for the Super Nintendo.
But yeah, I thought the guy in Britain did a universal universal SNES cable, the retro gaming cables. Isn't he doing something like that? I saw where he took
that from Mike.
Okay, because I saw where he took my SCART to. He took my SCART to BNC adapter and he just added a sync stripper to it. Now he's selling that. I did see that, which is fine.
Yeah, it's open source. He took
totally fine. But I did see that. No mention of my name anywhere, but that's fine. Whatever. I'm just glad people are getting use out of that. That's the point of those things.
Yeah, Renee, did that company ever use your name when they put out the what was it, the PC Henshin or something?
Oh,
did they actually do that? I didn't think they followed through. Did they actually release it?
Toto Tech, I think.
Yeah.
I never checked.
Toto Tech. I think there was like an extra toe.
TOTOTEK, right?
TOTOTEK. Yeah.
Tototech, I think is how they say it. Tototech.
Okay, yeah, I see. Okay, I'm on their website now. There's so they sell the Turbo and the PC Henshin. Yeah, they have a link back to my website. Yeah.
That's nice. See, that's just good form in my opinion. That's just very complimentary, and that's just a very nice thing to do.
I mean,
no, and they contacted me prior to that, and they said, "Can we build it?" And I said, "Well, I gave it away for free."
Right.
Sure, you can.
Didn't have to do that, but it was nice that they, kind of got your blessing, sort of, I guess.
Yeah, and there's an Industrial Industries is going to be selling some triple bypass boards really soon too, and they approached me and they asked for permission, whatnot, and I said, really nice of you to ask for permission. You don't need my permission, but now that you're asking, let me know when you're releasing these products, and I will promote them at the same time. So it'll help you out a bit. And if you're watching, you could send me a GameCube component cable because I'm in the market for a GameCube component cable.
That's right.
You know, the thing that kind of, I don't know if I should tell the whole story or not, but the thing that I was always
Nobody will be able to hear it anyway, Bob.
There you go. The thing I was always very proud of is that I was happy that I used information on my site that I got from people that were way smarter than me. So I never wanted to try to make it seem like some of the really harder stuff on my website was done by me, because I always appreciated bragging that, like, hey, look at these people that are fucking awesome and smarter than me that are willing to help. This is their design, and you know, here's who they are, and here's just my guide about it. So I was always happy to do that, but that's also kind of why I was a little annoyed when a few people had accused me of taking their work. There was one guy in particular who was a very not nice person, let's just say. And he tried to tell everybody that I stole his way of pulling RGBS from a Super Nintendo 1 chip, when it was something that I'd spent like a ridiculous amount of hours on. And then he disappeared from the forums, so it's kind of, I don't know what his deal was.
Oh, the forums. Okay, now
Say
everything
no more,
makes
Bob.
sense.
Say no more.
Alright, I guess I gotta unlock that door before
Well,
proceeding.
it's just, it's one of those things, you gotta deal with it.
All right, boys, it's 10 o'clock. Bob, you gonna be able to beat this in the next 5 minutes, or?
Oh, I made it very clear from the beginning this was just about playing with something fun. It wasn't about
DJ Alex under bass.
Playing with something fun, but then not telling anybody what it is.
Yeah,
We
Bob's
should've-
really not cool. I gotta be honest with you. You think that's really fun and stuff? That's more annoying than anything. I gotta be. I'm totally not joking. I mean, I'm totally.
So next time Bob plays something, we should put up the neural net learning thing next to it and
Oh, yeah.
see who wins.
DJ Alex Underbase says, Voltar, why don't you put on sale those SCART BNC adapters? Even if you give them for free, you can make the same as Sega RGB boards, right? Oh, well, the thing is, I just don't think, DJ, that there would be a lot of demand for those. Now, if several people came to me and said, we'd really like you to make those, and so you could sort of put your stamp of approval on them, we would love to buy them. I may consider it, but otherwise, unlike Bob, 10 is not a big number to somebody like me.
How dare you make your own boards when you already have other people making them? I think it's arrogant to think that you can go.
Oh,
and just
I'll tell that story
start-
real quick. I won't name names, but there's somebody else who got really upset that I started to sell my Sega RGB board because they're trying to. I guess they're making some by hand, or they're trying to sell some too, and they just didn't think it was fair for me that by me releasing those for free, that was enough.
Is
And
it
then
an
by-
A or a we?
I need to make sure that we're on the same page about this.
That's hilarious, Nick.
So somebody made, but forget that it's yours. Somebody manufactured a open source product, and then got upset when somebody else manufactured an open source product.
Yep.
That's exactly what
right.
happened.
Was it
Oh,
was it the guy who runs RetroArch? Because that's totally something he would do.
Oh no! Of course not. Don't be ridiculous. But it was nice enough that I released them for free. But by putting my hand in there and trying to sell them, I'm monopolizing and taking away from other people who are just trying to start out in all of this stuff. Which that rationale didn't make sense to me, anyways. And providing, mind you, this is all secondhand to me, so it's anecdotal at best. But I thought, man, I make something and I give it away. You don't have to buy it from me. I already gave it to you for free, but I guess it's still a problem that if I make them and sell them to people, I guess that's an issue.
I'm really annoyed with these people who try to promote open source as a contribution only framework when you don't have to contribute back if you don't make changes, right? You're totally allowed to take an open source product, follow the license, and sell a product and make money off of it.
Sure.
Yeah, well,
Open source doesn't mean communism for all and only contribute and nobody makes money. That's not open source.
That's right.
and don't forget, Renee, that some of the licensing agreements say that you don't have to contribute your changes back to it.
Yeah.
The license agreement could really say theoretically anything, right? I mean,
Yeah.
you can write your own license if you want.
there
yeah,
are
but
some,
there's common ones.
Right.
yeah, there are weak copyleft licenses which you don't have to contribute anything back.
Well, that's what got Lib Retro into all that sort of
They're
nasty
they're
hatedness,
mad
right?
again. They are back on it about the PlayStation thing.
Don't say they. I'm pretty sure it's the one guy. Don't.
Yeah. Okay. Whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
it's
no,
all
whoever's
pronouns,
behind
but-
the
Don't lump
Lib
all the
Retro
other
account
people on
is-
that team into that guy's insanity.
Yeah. Okay. Whatever. The guy responsible for the Lib Retro Twitter account is real grumpy about the PlayStation Classic using an open source emulator that is where the license allows for that to happen.
I saw his exchange with Frank Cifaldi about that. Yeah, he's mad again.
Dude, out of what 7 years I've been running the website, I've probably talked to hundreds of people at this point, and he is one of the few that I do not ever want to associate with at all ever again. Out of hundreds of people, he's like one of 3.
Who?
The
Lib Retro.
guy.
Okay.
I'm annoyed at him that he can't compress his message into the allowable characters of Twitter.
I think he stopped doing that.
That was so annoying. For the longest time, he would link to this
Tweet
service.
longer.
Yeah, that would let you tweet longer. That goes. It's against the point of Twitter. Twitter, you know, keep it short and simple. Ah. God damn it.
Yeah, I totally agree.
If you can't tweet within one sentence, then you should be on Facebook, where nobody will read what you write.
Well, it's always the
Because
diatribes.
Facebook won't show it to them unless you pay.
That's true.
Yep. Bob, you gonna? How far are you gonna go with this thing?
I
People
think
gotta
I'm
get
gonna-
over to Smoke Monsters.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna give it like 2 or 3 more minutes and then sign off because I'm clearly not getting anywhere with this, and I've already embarrassed myself enough.
So we just opened for Smoke Monster, man. I feel bad for that guy.
Yeah, we totally killed the crowd for him.
Yeah.
I mean, I gotta be honest. This has been like the worst stream I've ever seen. Especially especially a stream that we've all I mean, if this is what these are going to be, I don't want to do this shit anymore. This has been horrible. This has been a huge fucking waste of time.
Here we
Can
go.
you imagine,
this is
Zach,
definitely
The
the place
next
to stop
person-
because this fucking. Oh.
the next person due for streaming is Nick, and he didn't beat his game either.
What the fuck is it with only, it's 3 for 2 here. Me, Nick, Steve, and Renee. We finished our games.
Yeah, I
will-
played till
I'll
11
pick a
o'clock,
game.
but I beat
I'll
it.
pick a game that has infinite continues, and we get it done next time.
Hey, motherfucker, I had to do that boss rush every single time I died.
Yeah.
So, eat my dick.
What about the co-op?
Oh, yeah.
That's a Twitch thing, right? Twitch has where we can all stream to the same point, and it'll make like the
Well, up to 3 people, right? Or 4 people?
4 people.
I bought a Nintendo Switch for my kids for Christmas, so if we can co-op on Switch after December 25th, I'll be able to.
There you go. Cha-ching!
What do you want to do, Mario Kart?
That's
Bob, I
one
don't
of
know
the
if we're
games
gonna-
I bought.
I don't know, Bob, to be honest with you, I don't know if we're going to allow you to participate in these video game streams because this has been, I'm not kidding, this has been an abysmal failure. We have watched you literally play. Have your eyes been closed the entire time?
Oh, you can fuck right off.
We got people in the chat saying Metroid Fusion is a 2-hour game. So that means you beat it, right, Bob?
Yeah, that's exactly what
Well-
just happened.
Well, he started late.
One of the
so-
people who speed runs it says it's a 2-hour game.
I don't know if it's speedrun.
But that's what he had said earlier, that he practices. He's been practicing this game for speed.
So it's a 2-hour speedrun game, or is it a 20-minute speedrun game, but it's a 2-hour average game? For the average, there you go.
Co-op a Mario Party game. Hmm. Is there a Mario
Yeah.
Party for Switch now? I haven't turned on my Switch in forever. I brought my Switch with me on my work trip to San Francisco last week. Onto the plane, stayed in the case the whole time. I just watched movies on the screen in front of me.
Yeah, what did you watch?
Bunch of crappy movies.
The how long to beat average for Metroid Fusion is 5 hours for just the main story.
I
So
don't
there.
believe that, Bob. That's
I just
bullshit.
posted that link in the chat, so there you go.
There's no redeeming yourself. I don't care what bullshit article
Bob,
you're
Bob.
bringing up.
Bob, the words of George Carlin. Do you know how dumb the average person is?
Fair.
Speaking of which,
Gotcha.
Bob,
Mhm.
there you go. That's what I was looking for. Well, this has been fun. I'm ready for this to stop.
Yeah, it's gonna make me take up drinking again.
I mean, I'm gonna go
Hurts.
fucking commit suicide. No offense, sorry, Stanley. Hey guys, do you think there was anything sort of conspiratorial about Stanley dying at 95?
I mean, all the Thanos jokes were like my favorite thing about that. I think he would have enjoyed that.
Yeah.
The Thantos jokes, from the guy from Secret of Mana.
Thanos is a bad guy in Avengers.
Oh, okay. So you have to watch movies.
Yeah.
Okay. Oops.
All right, so I guess we're all gonna go jump on Smoke Monster stream, where he's probably gonna do something productive and not a complete and total failure.
I don't
Dude,
know.
dude.
I'm not doing anything. I'm so fucking burned out by this. I'm gonna jack off and turn these lights out.
There was a suggestion where you should go into Smoke Monster stream and as a guest and just do what Voltar is doing with his picture-in-picture, and you finish Metroid Fusion.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
I was just wondering, are if you maximize the window, are the donations legible?
No.
Fuck.
Yeah, it's way too small.
That was the best joke ever, too. God damn it.
It was all right.
Bob, you don't talk about mediocre. You don't even get to judge.
Could we
mediocre.
get this whole stream inside a guest spot? Is that what you were saying? So that Zach's game was still playing as a tinier window inside Bob playing.
Streamception.
Yeah, that's right. All right, everyone. Thanks for joining.
Yeah, thanks for coming by.
like,
I had a great time.
Seriously, thank you for
sticking around.
I would have stuck around if I were you guys. But
Thanks to everyone who donated to my beer fund.
Yeah, thanks for whoever did that.
Drew, Aletha for helping me, suck even or suck less.
We
I
should
will
call
never
it.
give money to this bullshit stream. I'm really offended, Nick, that you even said that was me. You fucking asshole.
We should call it the Patreon Fund from now on.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
All right, we'll see you next time.
Okay, guys, take it
All right.
easy.
See you guys.
See ya.